Hello, I'm Lawrence Stacy, President of the General Conference of the Church of God Seventh-day. That is the Church of God Seventh-day in the United States and Canada. On the night before his crucifixion, Jesus gathered with his disciples in an upper room in Jerusalem to celebrate or observe the Passover meal. Luke chapter 22 says this, beginning with verse 14, "When the hour had come, he reclined at the table, and the apostles with him. And he said to them, I have earnestly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I say to you, I shall never again eat it until it is fulfilled in the kingdom of God." And when he had taken a cup and given thanks, he said, "Take this and share it among yourselves. For I say to you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine from now on until the kingdom of God comes." And when he had taken some bread and given thanks, he broke it and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And in the same way he took the cup after they had eaten and said, "This cup which I poured out for you is the new covenant in my blood." The disciples must have been amazed. They were used to observing the Passover, but this wasn't the normal Passover. Jesus was doing something different. He said of the unleavened bread, "This is my body." He said of the wine, "This is my blood poured out for you." And while Passover was part of the law of Moses, he now said, "This is the new covenant." This was something brand new. This was what we've come to know as the Lord's Supper. During the meal, the Apostle John tells us, Jesus got up from the table and prepared himself and washed his disciples' feet. That certainly wasn't part of the Passover observance. John 13, verses 12 and following says, "So when he had washed their feet and taken his garments and reclined at the table again, he said to them, 'Do you know what I have done for you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for so I am. If I then, the Lord and the teacher, washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I gave you an example that you also should do as I did to you. Truly, truly, I say to you, a slave is not greater than his master, nor is one who is sent greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them." Jesus said to his disciples on that wonderful evening, "Do this in remembrance of me. Do this in remembrance of me. Do what I have done to you. Follow my example. If you do, you will be blessed if you do it." This is the Lord's Supper. This is different from Passover. This is a new covenant celebration of the death of Christ and what it means to us. And this is the Lord's Supper that we will celebrate this coming April 4th after sunset. As our churches across the United States and Canada gather, we will remember the Lord's death until he comes. We will follow his example of humility and wash each other's feet. Wherever you are across the United States and Canada, if you can find a congregation with which to gather, I invite you again this year to gather together with fellow believers and observe the Lord's Supper. God will bless you if you do. That's what it says in his word.